We all want more sales when it comes to print on demand or digital products, physical products, anything really. We're going to be focusing on print on demand in this video. There are 3 sale killers. Number 1 is the pricing, number 2 is a slow website, and number 3 are keywords. Now I just want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor for today's video, Hostinger. We're going to talk a bit about them later on in the video. For now, let's go into a bit more detail into these 3 killers. Starting with number 1, which is price. This is so much more important than we may realize. A great way to get sales is to just lower your price all the way down to the cheapest. However, this isn't actually a very good way, and to what end? This method doesn't really work because you're going to end up engaging in some sort of price war with your competition and just pricing it lower and lower and lower and lower until there's literally zero profit margin. And I'm saying this from experience. I have been there. I have been in a price war so bad that we never actually were able to come back from it. The trick here is to find the optimal price that works for your audience. And this can be based on a few factors: how many sales you've already got, how well your product is ranking, and how seasoned your account is, whether it's with Amazon or Redbubble or Teespring or whoever. Because for a lot of people, they just want to get out of tier 10 on Amazon, or they want to just get their first few sales on Redbubble. So, it just makes sense to offer the lowest possible price just to kickstart those sales. And this does work to a certain extent. Lowering your price, getting out of that tier 10, or getting those sales on Redbubble and just getting up the rank, it does work, but to a certain degree. You have to know when to stop selling it at a very low price. I made the mistake of keeping the low price for too long, to the point where, yes, I had a good rank, but we weren't making very much money. So we increased the price to make a bit of money. But because of that increase from all the way down the bottom, all the way up to the top, it was quite drastic. We lost our rank very, very quickly, and sales started to slow down quite drastically. And that's not something I want to happen to you. What I've noticed on Amazon is a very popular price is between $15 and $16. I see that everywhere. I use it myself. It's just a very popular price. And with this price, it still is enough to give you royalties. It's still low enough where it's quite competitive. And it's still also high enough where you can comfortably raise your price to $17 or to $18 over time and not be worried about losing your rank and getting less sales. Whereas if you price at $13, just, rock bottom prices, firstly, you're getting no royalties. Secondly, raising your price from 13 all the way to something like 18, that's going to be really, really hard, and you'll see your rank deteriorate massively. Now, that's without saying that if you want to just get out of tier 10, then offering, $13 makes sense, but really don't do it for a long time. As quick as possible, in and out, try and get that price back up to around $15 to $16. Personally, I've always thought print on demand is overpriced, and scrolling through Redbubble and seeing t-shirts for $25, I know I would never ever spend over $20 for a t-shirt. However, right, you've got to completely take out the personal side of this business and just think, what would other people do? So just because I would never spend $20, $25 on a t-shirt, that doesn't mean other people won't. And if a t-shirt is getting sales at that price, it's clearly working. So it means you can do that as well. So experiment with your price, and always remember it's much more important than just randomly picking a number when you upload your design. Okay, really think about it, just like you think about your keywords and you think about your design. Do research around the price and really come up with the perfect price for your design. Number 2 is a slow website. And having a slow website can destroy a business. And even before the internet, before there was slow websites, you had things called queues. And everyone hates a queue. For example, let's just take a normal high street shop, especially now during the whole corona period, right? When walking up the high street and thinking about what shops to go in, one of the most annoying things is to see a shop with queues all around the block. And you think to yourself, do I want to queue up to go to this shop? And you genuinely contemplate not going to that shop, which means that shop could potentially be losing out on sales. And this doesn't just relate to offline shops like high street shops. This is very prominent in websites as well. For example, when you're going to a website, what's the longest you've waited for a page to load, for the images to load? for anything. And this doesn't always depend on your internet speed. A lot of this has to do with the hosting of that website and how much effort they put in to making sure their website is really, really fast. So I wanted to share something really interesting with you. I wanted to share with you the loading times of our favorite print-on-demand sites, like Printful and Redbubble and Amazon and Teespring. I want to tell you how good those sites are ranking in terms of how fast they load. And I'm going to be using the same sites that I used for this video, where I had a look at the different print-on-demand t-shirt quality. And that way, you can kind of see which company has the best quality designs, which company has the fastest loading website as well. So the sites we're going to be comparing are Spring, Printful, and even though it's not really got anything to do with them because Printful is usually connected to Shopify or Etsy, still, we're also going to be looking at Teechip, Printify, which is similar to Printful, Amazon, Redbubble, Motif, TeePublic, Threadless, and Etsy. I just thought this would be a really fun experiment because you would be able to see which one of your favorite companies are doing well with their internet speeds and which ones you should really reconsider using because of how bad they are. Okay, so the first site we're going to be looking at is Spring, spri.ng. Their site gets a speed test of 24, and I'm using developers.google.com. The link will be in the description if you need to find it. But it's really cool. It's a really cool site to test the speed of your website. We can see 0 to 49, well, it's not very good. 50 to 89 is decent, right? It's workable, and then 90 to 100 is the best. So, Spring's overall score is 24. I'm not very surprised here, but you can see how long it takes. 3.8 seconds, 9.2, 11.2. It's flipping slow. Let's move on to the next one, Printful. Now, I know Printful isn't really a shop of its own. You connect it to other platforms, but still, Printful on its own got 15. That's even worse than Teespring. But the only thing which... the reason I don't care it's a 15 is because it's always connected to other platforms like your own Shopify website or your Etsy. So we're going to look at Etsy in a minute and you'll see why 15 doesn't really matter for this kind of site. Now with Teechip, right, this is an actual site where you would need to have your stuff on, 19, even lower than Spring. It's really crazy to see that these print-on-demand companies just don't care about the most basic thing, which is the speed of their websites. This basic speed, right? This thing is so unbelievably important. It's really what drives customers away, right? So that's Teechip. Printify, which is very similar to Printful. So again, I'm not so right, is 28. Amazon, finally, someone who cares about their website, about their business, is 55. Now, I know that's borderline here, but 55 is still plenty good. It's very, very fast over here. You can see a lot of green, 82% green, 87% green over here. So this is absolutely fine, right? Next one, Redbubble, 26. No surprises there. The next one is Motif, which is really surprising actually. This is the highest print-on-demand only company so far because with Amazon, they sell everything. So it's really hard to kind of, say it's just t-shirts. Motif at 46. I know it's still, in the lower end, but still 46 is the best we've seen so far for a print-on-demand only company. The next one is TeePublic with a question mark. Yeah. The next one is Threadless with our lowest score of 12. This is shocking. And then we have Etsy. Etsy is at 71. Etsy just stole the show here. And again, I know Etsy is not just print on demand, but it goes to show if you link Printful to Etsy, it doesn't matter that Printful is only at 15. Etsy is at 71, and that's what's important when it comes to loading the website. Now, you might not notice the speed on your internet when you're, zipping around, but a lot of people will be put off by a slow website. And this is mobile, by the way. If we go to desktop, it changes. So Etsy jumps all the way to 96. So let's do a quick run through of the desktop versions of all of these. The reason I started with mobile is because I know firsthand, and just from so much research, that people do a lot of shopping on their mobiles and iPads and stuff like that. But if we quickly go through to mobile, Spring jumps up to 72. That's really, really good. Printful jumps up to 71, which is really good. T-Chip jumps up to 53, which is decent. Printify jumps up to 73. Amazon jump up to 87. That's incredible. Redbubble jump up to 72. Motif jump up to 98. 98. That is insane. That is the fastest print-on-demand company we've seen so far. TeePublic is still a question mark. Threadless jumps up to 77. And like I said, Etsy jumps up to 96. So it's really interesting to see which websites care about people using mobile. And you can see from data on Facebook ads or even Google that a huge majority of people will do shopping just on their couch, watching TV on their mobile, right? So many more people are doing shopping on their mobile now. So having a good mobile website is so important. It's good to see though that everyone is doing semi-okay when it comes to desktop, and that I did my website just for fun, which is getting 55 on mobile and 78 on desktop. So I can definitely speed that up a bit, but even still 78 is pretty good on desktop, and on mobile I'm happy with 55. So that is the speed. Now again, I've used developers.google.com/speed/page speed/insights if you want to check your own Shopify store, your own Xyro store, your own WooCommerce store, whatever it may be. Now, this leads us nicely onto our sponsor today, Hostinger. Hostinger specialize in website hosting. Not only are they one of the fastest, but they are also one of the cheapest. And I really do a lot of research and a lot of testing into companies before I decide to sponsor them on one of my videos. And I've done a heck of a lot of research into Hostinger, and I found that it's actually a really cool company. Website hosting is an online service that allows you to publish your website onto the internet. Most platforms come with free hosting like Squarespace and Xyro, but oftentimes we find that free hosting is actually really crap. Now you have different types of hosting. You have shared hosting, reseller hosting, dedicated hosting, but what we're going to be talking about and what Hostinger are just amazing at is their shared hosting. And this is basically when the server space is shared between a few different websites. And that's perfect for anyone in print on demand, because usually the business is going to be small enough and not have to load as much stuff on the website, where shared hosting is cheap and fast enough for anyone. Now, Hostinger is one of the best hosting websites, and that's not just according to me, that's according to many blog posts and many tests. With website hosting, you could actually see facts and figures. So these tests tested a few things. Number 1, overall speed of the website. Number 2, uptime of the website, meaning the duration for which a server is fully functional and running. Number 3, any extras they offered like SSL certificates. And number 4, the price. All of these different factors were taken into consideration when deciding if Hostinger was a good platform. And as well as all of that, the support you get is absolutely incredible. It's 24/7, 365 days of the year. And for me, I've used their support quite a lot just because I'm not really technically savvy when it comes to creating websites and back-end hosting, but they make it really simple. The landing page, the dashboard I should say, is really user-friendly. And if you're ever stuck, you can just contact support and they're very fast. Now, they also offered a really cool special discount for my audience, for you guys, if you want. And all you have to do is enter the code SHIMMY at checkout and you'll get access to this ridiculously cheap pricing. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. So if you're looking for website hosting and you want to create a website, or you already have a website and you want to make it a lot faster, definitely check out Hostinger. Right. Hopefully that should tackle the issue of having a slow website. Now let's talk about the third sales killer, and that is keywords. Believe it or not, this could either be due to having too many keywords or too few keywords. What you want to find here is the sweet spot number of keywords that could really be helping your business rather than destroying your business. There's a thing called tag spamming, and I've spoken about this on previous videos, and it's very common on a platform like Redbubble. And tag spamming is basically when people use the same keyword many times over, and it's just Firstly, super annoying because those people, all you see is keyword, keyword, keyword. A lot of the time, the keywords have nothing to do with the design. And at the beginning, when people were doing this, it was really beneficial for them. They were showing up really high in the rank. And sometimes a few people slip through the cracks and still show up very high in the rank. However, doing something like this could be detrimental for your business, not only for your account, which could get banned, but also for your design, because eventually when the company you're doing it with catches on, you will get shunned all the way down the rank and it will not help you. Another thing which could be putting your account at risk is using keywords that you're not allowed to use. So for example, if you have a design that's not breaking any trademark issues, then brilliant. But if you put the keywords, right, you put trademark words in the keyword. So if you're doing a t-shirt for the Olympics and you use Olympics and you use other keywords that you're not allowed to be using, that could still flag up your design and it could still flag up your account. Firstly, you could get your design rejected, but worst case scenario, you could get your account shut down. So again, even if your design is okay, you've got to make sure your keywords are allowed as well. Now, if you just want to do the good thing, right, be a white hat marketer and you want to just use the obvious keywords for your design, that is going to be good. However, you might not get very many sales, or any sales for that matter, because you're just using a few obvious keywords. So if your design is a dog design and you just use the obvious dog keywords, you might not get sales. You want to be using a few longer tail keywords that you'll find easier to rank for. So for example, ranking for the word dog is going to be really hard, but ranking for the word best dog t-shirt for mum, it's going to be a lot easier because it's longer tail. It will obviously get a lot less traffic, but if you have enough of those, right, and you hit that sweet spot of keywords, you'll end up doing really well. Where to find decent keywords? Well, you can use the Google Keyword Planner tool to actually research different keywords. And that is a totally free keyword research tool, and I've made a whole video on it which you can check out up here. It's a really, really cool video. Basically, the Google Keyword Planner tool is you put a search term in and it will tell you how many searches that's getting. Now, I know platforms like Redbubble, Etsy, Amazon, right, they're not the Google search. So just because something's getting 100,000 searches in Google, it doesn't mean it's going to be getting 100,000 searches in Etsy. However, right, you could just, take it with a pinch of salt. If something's getting 100,000 searches on Google, if there's something getting 10,000 searches on Google, you can be sure that keyword that's getting all those searches are going to be getting a lot of searches on Etsy as well. A lot more searches than if a keyword on Google was getting 10,000 searches per month. Those are the three things, and if done perfectly, you should see a significant improvement. Of course, nothing guarantees sales. I won't be able to guarantee sales. No one will be able to guarantee sales. And if anyone says they can guarantee sales with a certain method, please move on, because it's impossible to guarantee sales. All we can do, all YouTubers, blogs, anyone helping could do is increase the chances of you getting more sales through certain tactics and certain things. I really hoped you liked this video. I thought it would be a bit different, and I thought it would be quite fun seeing all the different speeds of the different websites. And again, if you want to speed up your website, then definitely think about using Hostinger. The link is in the description, and as I said, it's so fast, it's so reliable, and it's so flipping cheap. It just seems like the best option. So definitely, if you're interested, click the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.